Detroit was last night.
Want to get away?
Yep. All right. Well, I didn't mean to boot everybody out, but hey,
no, you're good, man. We were always jump out the party, man. So
it's just me and you now.
Yeah,
I mean, is it? Am I that ugly? I mean, come on. What's going on now? All right, y'all. It's late, but the grind doesn't stop. Okay, told y'all some better things were coming onto the channel. As you can see here, thank you to J-Tuck. Better things have come. Didn't realize till he was 5 hours into his stream that he had extended me the invite to come on and talk about the draft. Ended up recapping a little bit of the Tyler Guyton selection, so I wanted to finish up my thoughts around here. Like I said, it's late. It's currently 2 o'clock in the morning. Both of my daughters are going to be waking up here in about 5 hours, so it's always fun. But we got to do what we got to do. Here we are. Tyler Guyton, as you'll see, wasn't a guy that I was overly in love with as far as just the power for me. It's really simple. And you can see this on the live preview, the pre-draft preview that I did on my show 2 nights ago. Or I guess it was last night now. With Ben Larimore. I wanted to get more physical up front. You guys have been following me along with me. Sorry. This whole off season right now, 15 weeks, some odd, whatever it's been. You've heard me say that many times. Okay. Let's put some bullies up front on the line of scrimmage, and let's be able to help your quarterback out, run the football a little bit. 3.2 yards per carry in each of the last 3 playoff losses simply will not cut it. Doesn't matter how good your quarterback is that day, if he's on, if he's off, whatever. Know how some of you feel about Dak Prescott. That's fine. Nothing you can do to overcome that. 3.2 yards per carry, if you extend that, adjust for a 17-game season in 2023, that would have been good for 28th best rushing attack in the entire NFL. That's how bad it's been, running the football. Okay. Adding a physical freak of nature like this, an athletic specimen who needs some refinement. Okay, not a perfect prospect. Massive upside here. Get him in the hands of Duke Manyweather, the Mr. Miyagi of offensive line play. If you don't know who he is, please Google him. As you'll see me allude to once again, who am I to judge or question the Cowboys' first-round offensive line decision-making? Okay. Yes, there are some silver linings here, as you'll see. Yes, I'm trying to be as objective as possible, and I hope that it's conveyed that way. Tyler Guyton, the first thing that popped into my head when the selection was made, I will be completely candid. I was hoping that we were going to hear Commissioner Goodell say either Zach Frazier's name or Jackson Powers Johnson's name. That's not what happened. That's okay. The first thing that popped into my head as a result of that not happening is what we've been discussing on here for a few weeks now. Since the Tyler Smith departure, or the Tyron Smith departure. Okay. I can rationalize Tyler Smith being my chess piece. Okay, but I want him to stay at guard. Or my all-pro is already currently an all-pro. Let's leave the all-pro where he's at and not have to switch 3 spots as opposed to just 2. That's the way my brain processes it. That's the way I've seen it. Trying to be candid about that. Tyler Guyton, first and foremost, before we say anything, okay, affords you the ability to keep Tyler Smith where he's already an all-pro at. He's played that position for just really 1 year. He was drafted as a tackle out of college. Played his entire rookie season at left tackle. First year at left guard, 2 years in, all-pro. Duke Manyweather, I'm sure, had a hand in that. Keep that name in mind here, okay? There's a lot to work with. I'm excited about leaving Tyler Smith where he's at. I'm excited about the upside of Tyler Guyton, and I'm damn sure excited that the Cowboys did the smart thing and traded back from 24 to 29 to add an extra pick on day 2. Good business. You have more holes, more vacations, more areas in your roster vacated through free agency than you had draft picks to try and even remotely come close to attempting to replace. You can't do it with one draft anyways, but even if you could, you don't have that enough picks. So, well done.
Oh, yeah, Landon pulled to the party, man. Fast be late, man. So
everybody said, "All right, time to go home." Okay, good night, everybody. Now,
Yeah.
so here's my initial thoughts, man. That's what thing I love about Twitter is I can just kind of contextualize my thoughts a little bit, put it in writing, and sort of see how it ages. But
right.
First take was keeping it real. I didn't love Tyler Guyton in round one, but I did love leaving Tyler Smith at left guard. That was huge for me. Okay, that was the thought process. I also loved trading back and acquiring picks. Obviously, right? Any team loves the idea of that, especially if you're a team like the Cowboys that's losing as many guys as they did. Granted, rotational pieces, C and B caliber dudes, right?
Right.
But still, depth matters in this league, right? It's a very important component. So. Also, I said, if there's one thing that I've learned not to question, it's the Cowboys' offensive line selections in round one, obviously.
Right.
That's my silver lining. And then I kind of just closed it off with another thing I'll be watching, even though I know y'all hate the idea of double dipping, man. People have been giving me crap for that behind the scenes, low key. But Zach Frazier sliding to 56, I mean, that's not out of the question. It's not out of the realm of possibility. But now also, too, if you've got ammo to do some more things, but having 3 selections on day 3, 56, 73, and 87, I think if that's correct.
Right.
Man, it's fun. You needed that extra dart. And so who am I to question the Cowboys' first round valuation at the offensive line position?
Right.
That's really where I'm at. So I'm going to trust it. I didn't love it. I'm going to trust it. And that's where I'm at.
That's the thing. Like, that's all we really can do, right? I'm
right.
with you, Landon. I didn't. But here's where I think, like I said, I want to believe in my head that they traded back. They thought Graham Barton was on the slide. They thought Jordan Morgan was on the slide. They got wiped out. And was Tyler Guyton possibly the best offensive lineman left on the board? Yeah. I mean, it's going to be between him and Kingsley. I was kind of saying this on Twitter, but it's like,
exactly.
My problem is I don't think he helps as much this year. It's going to be something we have to sit and wait and see. And maybe 2 to 3 years now, then everyone in the chat like, oh, he's an all pro. But I'm like, I want to focus on this year. You know what I'm saying?
It's just that was
so yeah.
But I hear you on that, man. And that was kind of the exact discussion I had last night. I was live for over 3 hours actually with my guy Ben Larimore, who is I dubbed him our resident draft expert, man. The kid put in so much work and salute to him. He he had 493 players that just literally like, it's a Dane Brugler caliber draft board, basically, as far as just the time that he put in to each individual prospect and the nuance within each particular player. Very impressive stuff. But we had an interesting conversation, and his stance was, he's drafting in his mind, he was drafting for the future.
Right.
He didn't think he was essentially kind of pushing or mailing it in, waving the white flag for 2024. And not wrongfully so necessarily, right? Just his particular opinion, reading into the tea leaves as far as the outstanding contract extensions that are needed to be done and handled that are, it's still out there, right? It's a wait and see thing right now at this current juncture, even though granted, I would definitely argue that, the Cowboys are one to wait until training camp. And that's when they like to get there. They get out to Oxnard and then they start negotiating. Right. But so his stance was mailing it in for 2024. This is a drafting for the future. Whereas for me, I was like, look, let's load up now. Let's beef up. Let's do whatever we got to do to help obviously run the football offensively, right? Give me a people mover in the trenches up front. Preferably somebody that leaves Tyler Smith at left guard, which in this case, mission accomplished for now. So that was a win. But more importantly, adding pieces that can help you stop the run on the other side of the ball too, right? Mm-hmm. And so, for me, man, it was just it's not hard. It's not difficult to improve your defense, your run stop ability.
Right.
Granted, albeit I very well understand the sentiment when people want to mention brand new defensive coordinator. Right. There's going to be an acclimation period there too. It's going to take some time.
Right.
And that's inevitable. It's true. We're going to see some growing pains. Sure.
Right.
But with a veteran dude like Mike Zimmer, who isn't going to take, this is just one example, but there's many others. But for instance, drafting Mozzie Smith a year ago, who is more of a two gapping type, obviously a true one technique body type, 330 pounds. You're not taking that guy and transforming him into a penetrating 3-tech that can rush the passer. It was just, it's crazy. So somebody who will stick to his guns and prioritize actually stopping the run as opposed to just, hey, we are all one-dimensional. We're going to go get after the quarterback. As so long as Dak Prescott and company can get us the lead, right, then we can pin our ears back and go hunt.
Right.
The problem is you weren't versatile enough to be multidimensional over there. Okay, so my whole thing is, yes, it's going to be difficult to acclimate to the new system. All these guys on the defensive side of the ball, right? But it's not going to be difficult, J-Tuck, to improve from a year ago with stopping the run. And you have enough playmaking ability on the edge with Micah Parsons, Trevon Diggs, Deron Bland. Can't wait to see what Wanye Thomas can bring.
Right.
Put Marquise Bell back there in the secondary, let him roam. That's a playmaker.
Right.
I mean, the perimeter, the edge, the skill position talent on the defensive side of the ball, I'm cool with. We're great. We're solid there, right? Need a little bit of help up front, but guess what? Like I said, a couple personnel pieces and fixes and changes. It's not going to be difficult to improve from where you were a year ago in your ability to stop the run.
Take that.
The last thing that I'll say is this. We knew this was an offensive draft, right?
Right.
We now have extra ammunition. So there's still a few other positions of need, quote unquote, right? Stick to your board, take the highest grade player that you had that sort of fits that, right? Whatever.
Right.
All that nuanced, politically correct draft jargon that people just, they run with. It is what it is. But guess what? Now you've got some ammunition. You can fill holes. You can take a running back tomorrow. You can take a receiver tomorrow. You can take another offensive lineman tomorrow, which I would love to do. That's I feel like I'm one of the very few, obviously alongside Vach. I've heard him mention that too. But my mock draft yesterday, we traded back and we double dipped up front and ended up with Zach Frazier and
that would be nice.
Kingsley Sumatea. Yeah.
Right.
Kingsley's going to be there, which is another thing I was kind of hoping, look, let's go ahead and just lock up JPJ. And then there's a really good shot that either Tyler Guyton or Kingsley's going to be there tomorrow. But now you may have the same situation at the center position. So here's what I've been trying to preach, man. And you can I want to hear your thoughts on this too. It's my fault for not even reaching out to you about this a lot sooner, but life's busy. I got 2 baby girls now. So building the golf business and doing the Lando show on the side, man, I don't have a lot of time, but as far as, just communicating on the side and things like that. But when the draft ends, we know how this goes. Teams are going to see that they're going to understand what the roster looks like a lot better. They're going to have better ideas. And, if the shoe fits, they're going to cut some bait, right? They're going to shed some cap, and there's going to be some players that are cap casualties that get cut.
Right.
And all of a sudden, look, that free agency market doesn't look quite as bleak as it did. Albeit, you've already missed the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth waves. Right. That's frustrating. We hate that. I'm with you there. But listen, I understand people hate hearing Stephen Jones, and I do too. They hate hearing him say that team building is a 365-day-a-year thing. In this particular case, he's not wrong. Even though they want to skip out on free agency, that's fine.
Right.
But we know that they're willing to spend money post-draft, the UDFA market. They are amongst the top of the league every single year in some terms of the money that they're spending on players. Not the least of which Hunter Lipke last year and TJ Bass.
Right.
Go look at their signing bonuses relative to the rest of.
They did it with Marquise Bell, I think, too, as well.
Yes, there you go. Exactly. Case in point. Bingo. The UDFA market now. That's the thing about it that people I'm not hearing people contextualize. We know how much the Joneses covet their sorry, it's been a long day. They're compensatory picks, right? So 4 guys we're projecting next year, 2025, you get 4 picks for Tyler Biotish, Tyron Smith, Tony Pollard, and who's the fourth? Dorrance Armstrong, all walking in free agency. Those are compensatory pick worthy contracts that signed elsewhere in free agency. What happens when guys get cut, J-Tuck? All of a sudden, that compensatory pick formula, it's not affected.
Right.
Case in point, once again, example, Eric Kendricks. You sign him. Granted, the contract, the structure of it, the money wouldn't have garnered a compensatory pick in the first place. Anyways, it wasn't big enough. It's a 1-year deal, right? But
Right.
the point being, when guys get cut, they don't eliminate, they don't offset your comp picks that you're already beginning to account for next year.
Right.
That's the key. That's the Joneses built-in safety net, right?
Mhm.
That's their fail safe. So the whole point is, when the draft concludes, teams understand what their roster looks like. They're going to try to save some money, do the smart business thing. The Cowboys post-June wanting Michael Gallup. That was just a business decision. That's a cap casualty.
Right.
Quality players, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, that's where I'm going to be looking. Defensive tackles, linebackers, potentially a corner. Guys that get cut, teams looking to save some money. Veteran defensive players that can come in and minimize the learning curve for Mike Zimmer's new system, right? So that you can hit the ground running with your top tier offense behind your MVP caliber quarterback. If you can stop the run a little bit better, it's not impossible to foresee an upgrade. It's not hard to do that. It's not difficult to upgrade your run stop ability from a year ago.
Right.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, man. Like I said, there's a lot of work to be done. And I think that's the important piece, right? Post-draft is when the Cowboys really get to work. Now, here's my concern, Landon, is that they'll probably say, well, we still got to get the Dak deal done, the CD Lamb deal done. You know what I'm saying? But there's going to be opportunities. And me personally, like, I'm a geek. I get excited for the undrafted guys a little bit more than I even do the draft guys. I feel like that's what the Cowboys find a lot more value. So we shall see, man. We shall see. But overall today, I'm cool. I mean, I get it.
Successful day to me. I'll call it a success.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go crazy, but it was a successful day.
It was, I think that the third round pick was a sweetener on it. If this was the pick at 24, I probably came unglued, man. But for everyone seeing you for the first time, my guy, let everybody know they can find you.
Man, as you see it on screen, pretty much at the Lando Show on any social media platform. All socials at TheLandoShow. But a lot more active than I have been on YouTube, man, and I'm starting to figure it out. As you can see, the camera here is a little bit blurry, but I got the camera on the way. I got the soundboard on the way.
There you go.
Everything's coming. It's just taking me a little bit of time to sort of streamline the process, but I'm figuring it out. I'm learning on the fly, and I was most active on doing short form stuff on TikTok and Instagram, but I'm ready to do some more long form stuff. It'll save me now that I got 2 baby girls, like I said, growing a golf business on the side, working for Inside Texas, covering the Longhorns, as you can see.
Yeah.
A little bit back here. Things are busy, so I don't have as much time as I used to as far as editing short form videos go. So, you're going to get me in more long form scenarios where I don't have to edit. I can just hop on the YouTube streets and say my piece and get up out of there, man. So
go live, man. We'll go live, man. We'll catch you tomorrow, my guy, man. Keep up the great work.
For sure. I appreciate you, Jay Tuck. Thanks for everything that you do, man. Keep being that trailblazer. Appreciate
thanks,
you,
bro. Thanks, bro. Yep. And salute to everyone who stuck with us for the draft show. We've been streaming for 5 hours, y'all.